You're not bad, your sensitivity just sucks. Let me show you how to fix it. Alright, most people think that just copying random pro settings will magically make them have crazy mechanics when that's just like not true. A common mistake I see is that people change their settings way too fast. You have to find a sensitivity that makes sense for you and stick with it. And a lot of people have no idea what the right sensitivity is for them. Alright, so first let's look at the most important sensitivity on controller, which is your look sensitivity. Obviously, the setting depends on if you like a faster or slower sense, but in my opinion, the best spot to have it is at 40%. This gives me a fast enough sense to have quick mechanics, but also have good crosshair placement. This is something that you can experiment with, but it should be somewhere between 38 to like 48%. Okay, now we have to look at your build and edit multiplier. This honestly should be somewhere between like 2 to 2.5. This setting will depend on what you have your look sensitivity at though, so you just gotta play around with it again. And for ADS sensitivity, you want this to be low. This should be very low, like somewhere between 6 and 12%. And the reason for this is because if you're aiming at someone with your AR and you're ADSing, you want to be able to like move at the speed they're moving at. Okay, moving into dead zones, you're going to want this pretty low. I've experimented with mine a lot, but I think having it at around 7 or 8% is good. I have mine higher than that because my controller's old and I would have stick drift if I didn't have it that high. So again, you just want to experiment with this to see what's right, but it should not be a high number. And finally, honestly, maybe the most important thing, we got to figure out if you're going to be on exponential or linear. This is honestly highly subjective and it depends on the person, but in my personal opinion, I think linear is the better option. Linear is a much smoother feel, and I think more people in general like linear than exponential, but it's definitely worth your time to try out both and see which one suits your playstyle better. Okay, so once you've applied these new settings of yours, do not be afraid to hop into an aim trainer or go into a free build to test it out. At the end of the day, you have to test these settings out and tweak them until you find something that you are actually comfortable with. Fortnite settings are never just like a one-size-fits-all thing. Everyone will have different settings based on their preferences. So again, apply some of these settings I recommended because I do find that these are the most common and best settings for majority of players, but feel free to tweak them to your own liking. It's better to give certain settings a couple of days before just switching to another one. That's all I got for y'all, so if this helped y'all out, don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.